What did it mean to you when you heard that the Heat were going to retire your number? Because obviously they do not do that for everybody.
Well, man, it took me to so many different places. Right away, I felt like a kid because all I ever wanted to do was play basketball. I mean, the NBA, my father tells people all the time, it was an obsession. And to not only make it, but to be able to put my family name up there as a representation of everything that's happened, the highs and the lows with the organization, it's wonderful.
We know all about the big three, you, D-Wade, LeBron. Of course, Ray Allen ultimately arrived there. But when we look back on that 4-year run to the finals, those 2 championships that y'all captured, what's the ones, I'm not talking about a specific story, but what's the one element that's not mentioned enough about how special that group was?
The camaraderie, the good times that we had together. I mean, nobody can know that because, we spent time, out of the public eye as well, but just, the connection that we made brothers for life on that team. The good times that we had, our children hanging out, going to each other's events for charity, supporting each other in all the endeavors that everybody had, and really, using that to pick each other up when times got tough. Those are the moments that I remember most, and those are the moments that really have a special place for me.
Chris, you were a franchise centerpiece in Toronto, a 20-10 guy, a perennial all-star for a perennial playoff team. When you went to Miami to be the 3rd member of the big three, really, it was considered, the pecking order was considered, at least offensively, LeBron, Wade, and then you.
Oh, no, it was.
And when you got there, you were willing to sacrifice not just your numbers, but the perception among the common fan who wasn't paying attention of your own excellence. I can't tell you how often people on my radio show used to tell me that Kevin Love was so much better than Chris Bosh. Do you watch the games? The man's playing defense. You were called soft for taking shots from the perimeter, stuff like that. The whole league has gone that way.
Yeah.
The reason I bring this up is I'm curious. When you survey the landscape now, you know what LeBron's trying to do in L.A. Which of the stars in their prime who could continue to do what you were doing in Toronto, do you think would be willing to do the same sort of thing in the pursuit of championships with LeBron? Do you see players that fit that profile?
No, absolutely. I mean, Anthony Davis for sure. He's tried a lot with the organization. They just haven't been able to get over that hump. I think they had a phenomenal team last year. They just came up a little short. He wants to move on now. There are certain sacrifices that you probably don't see coming in the game when you make a decision to change, because you're getting out of your comfort zone and you're getting out of a place that is home. 25-12, 20-10 every night. I know I can do that. I know I can produce that. All-stars, et cetera, et cetera. When you come into a new position with other great players, the dynamic changes.
Interesting you say that, because when I think about transitioning to another team, a different environment, and some of the adjustments that have to be made, that's a given. But he's going to play, let's say, for example, hypothetically, he ended up going to the Lakers, and he's playing alongside LeBron. The LeBron and going to play with LeBron in Miami is entirely different than going to play with the LeBron that was back in Cleveland as a champion, that's in L.A. now as a 3-time champion. Could you explain the potential dynamic that would exist for any star coming to play with LeBron now, as opposed to you guys who joined with LeBron in Miami? Because to me, it was about y'all 3, even though LeBron was the best player in the world. It was about y'all 3 in Miami, but to me, it's about LeBron in Cleveland, LeBron in L.A. Talk about that for a second.
I think it's, coming to a more of a general type of comparison with LeBron, because he's gained all this knowledge. From our 4 years, it was a very short time and it went by quickly, but he gained a lot of knowledge from that experience. And now I think people are looking up to him to lead them to the promised land. So he's going to have opinions and thoughts. He's going to take care of his body differently. When we were in Miami, it was pretty much go, 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 go. And that's what it was. And we just tried to overwhelm people, with athleticism. But, now he's getting older. The game happens. Everything is going to be a little more calculated. It's going to be a little slower. He can go fast, but not every day.
But real quick, Max, is it about that, the fact that he's gotten older, or is it about the Golden State Warriors and how they have changed the game and how shooting for those guys is an entirely different challenge than it was shooting for y'all?
Way different. It's more of them. It's way more of those guys. And I will give all credit to Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. They don't get enough credit for revolutionizing the game of basketball in the way it's been revolutionized now.
So speaking of Klay, Klay's daddy, Michael Thompson, was once upon a time, and I'm not saying that he was as great a player as you. I understand that there are levels to this. But he was once upon a time the #1 overall draft pick, giving you 20 and 10, 20 and 12, for a franchise, and he was a centerpiece, and he got traded to the Showtime Lakers and backed up Kareem, and won an All-Star anymore, but won championships. And whenever I've asked him about that, any regrets, not at all. He wouldn't have changed a thing. He's so glad he wound up backing up Kareem on the Lakers.
Yeah.
A little bit different, but the same kind of feeling. I ask you the question, any regrets about being perceived, at least, as the third wheel in Miami, but you wound up with 2 championships?
Not at all. No regrets at all. And one of the things that all the outside noise helped me, it helped me develop that thick, tough skin that you need to be in the public eye. At first, I used to take it personal, but I had to get over that eventually. And eventually, I knew it was just all about the game. I knew what I'm capable of, or what I was capable of on the court. So that gave me the utmost confidence to just go out there and play basketball. You might be talking crap to me now, but take this L. Whether Dwayne and LeBron are playing or not, and just move on with your life. I'm going to continue to compete.
And you just tell them, hold this L.
Hold it.
Hold it.
Hold it all day.
I took it for a second here. You can hold it for the rest of your life. Yeah.